You probably felt it too. That strange heaviness at the end of the year. Not sadness. Not quite disappointment. Just, nothing. Like you blinked and 12 months vanished, but when you look back, you can't point to a single thing that actually changed. Your job. The same. Your routines. Identical. The news cycle. Looping. Even the conversations you had in January sound exactly like the ones you're having now. And here's what nobody wants to say out loud: this wasn't bad luck. This wasn't coincidence. This was the design. Let's rewind. January always starts the same way. Resolutions. Fresh energy. The illusion of a blank slate. But by February, something shifts. Not in you, in the system around you. The algorithms you interact with every single day begin to tighten. Not obviously. Just, subtly. The content you see starts to narrow. The people you follow start saying the same things in slightly different words. Your feed becomes an echo chamber so gradual you don't even notice the walls closing in. And this? This is step 1. By March, you've stopped noticing. You're back in the loop. Wake up. Scroll. Work. Scroll. Sleep. Repeat. But here's the part that should disturb you: the loop isn't natural. It's optimized. Every app you open is designed to keep you inside it for as long as possible. Not to inform you. Not to connect you. To retain you. And the longer you stay inside these systems, the less you interact with anything outside them. Your perception of time starts to compress. Weeks feel like days. Months blur together. And by the time you realize it, half the year is gone. Now let's talk about what didn't happen. The promises made in January. The reforms that were coming soon. The changes that were supposed to fix the problems everyone could see. They didn't arrive, did they? And it wasn't because people forgot. It's because the system has an immune response. Anytime something threatens to actually shift the structure, the system floods the space with noise. Distractions. Outrages. Crises that demand your immediate attention but never actually resolve. You spend your energy reacting, and by the time you look up, the thing you were fighting for has quietly disappeared from the conversation. This is called managed stagnation. And it's not a bug. It's the feature. By summer, you might have tried to break out. Maybe you started a new project. Changed your routine. Tried to do things differently. But here's what you didn't account for: the infrastructure of your life is designed to absorb resistance. Your workplace has processes that make change nearly impossible without months of approvals. Your social circle has unspoken rules that punish deviation. Even your own brain, after years of conditioning, starts to resist novelty because it's metabolically expensive. So you tried. You failed. And you told yourself it was your fault. But it wasn't. You were playing a game rigged against movement. Let's go deeper. Because the question isn't just, why didn't things change? The question is, who benefits when nothing changes? And the answer is simpler than you think. Stagnation protects power. If the rules stay the same, the people who already won keep winning. If the systems stay the same, the people who control them stay in control. Change is risk. Movement is unpredictable. So the incentive structure at every level, corporate, political, algorithmic, rewards stability. Not progress. Stability. And you? You're not a citizen in this system. You're a variable to be managed. By autumn, something interesting happens. You stop expecting change. You stop even wanting it. Because wanting something you can't have is exhausting. So you adapt. You lower your expectations. You tell yourself, maybe next year. And this is the moment the system has been engineering since January. The moment you internalize the stagnation. The moment it stops being something happening to you and becomes something you accept as normal. Psychologists have a term for this. It's called learned helplessness. And once it sets in, you stop resisting. You stop questioning. You just exist inside the loop. Now here's where it gets darker. Because the stagnation isn't just external. It's internal too. The same mechanisms that keep systems from changing also keep you from changing. Every time you open the same apps, consume the same content, have the same arguments, you're reinforcing the same neural pathways. Your brain becomes optimized for repetition. Novelty becomes uncomfortable. Risk becomes terrifying. And after a year of this, you're not the same person you were in January. You're a more static version of yourself. More predictable. More manageable. Easier to sell to. Easier to control. December arrives. And with it, the strangest feeling. Relief. Not because the year is over. But because nothing catastrophic happened. You survived. You're still here. And somewhere along the way, you started measuring success not by growth or change, but by absence of collapse. This is the final psychological shift. The moment you stop asking, "What did I build?" and start asking, "What didn't fall apart?" And once you're asking that question, you've accepted the frame. You've internalized the stagnation as safety. And that's exactly where they want you. But let's pull back. Let's look at the full picture. Because this isn't just about you. This pattern repeated across millions of people this year. All of them feeling the same vague sense of nothing changing. All of them blaming themselves. None of them seeing the architecture. And that's the brilliance of it. The system doesn't need to be a conspiracy. It doesn't need a villain in a boardroom pulling levers. It just needs aligned incentives. Algorithms that prioritize engagement over truth. Corporations that prioritize profit over innovation. Political structures that prioritize re-election over reform. All of them independently optimizing for stagnation. And the result? A year where nothing changed. And it wasn't an accident. So what do you do with this? How do you break a system designed to resist breaking? That's the question, isn't it? And here's the uncomfortable truth, you probably can't. Not alone. Not in 1 year. Not with one decision. But you can start by seeing it. By naming it. By refusing to internalize the stagnation as personal failure. Because the moment you realize the game is rigged, you stop playing by its rules. You start looking for the edges. The cracks. The places where the system hasn't fully closed in yet. And maybe, that's enough. Not to change everything. But to change something. And sometimes, in a system designed for nothing to change, something is everything. One last thing. Before you close this video and go back to the loop. Ask yourself, what would it feel like if next year was different? Not in some grand, revolutionary way. But in small, deliberate ways. What would it feel like to notice when the algorithm is tightening? To step outside the loop, even for an hour. To build something the system didn't predict. Because that feeling, that tiny flicker of possibility, that's what they're counting on you to forget. Don't forget.